Relationship was brought by God, and I'm gonna explain why. I recently watched this podcast, which if you haven't seen this episode, it's absolutely amazing. I highly recommend. And they talk about a lot of different topics like overgiving, elevating your life, shame, love, why you attract certain people. But he talks about something very important, and I want to mention it because I see a lot of people on the internet kind of talk about how certain relationships were not brought by God and they're brought by the devil and they're meant to distract you and you have to cut the cords and all of that jazz. Now, I do a lot of cord cutting and release rituals, like me and my friend just did one the other night, but I don't believe that relationships are brought to you by the devil. And the meaning of relationships is for two souls to come together to activate a part of us that needs to heal. We attract people so that we can heal our self-worth, we can heal our self-love, we can get to the next level. Heal generational patterns of abuse and neglect and not feeling good enough and being with people who don't make us feel seen. Ultimately attracting love that we know we deserve. For those of us that believe in fate and destiny and that God is the creator of our lives, then if we're sitting here saying this person was sent by the devil and they were meant to mess us up, that's meaning that God made a mistake. And that doesn't make sense because God is perfect and he doesn't make mistakes. And you can interchange God with what feels right to you. I'm not one of these crazy people. Trust me, I grew up around them, so I know. I'm very cognizant. But the ultimate goal is that we have an innate desire to feel joy and wealth and abundance and feel whole within ourselves. And a lot of times these relationships come into our lives so we can break these patterns and we can learn to love ourselves. And I look back on all of my relationships and I'm like, wow, that grew me. No, it wasn't forever and that wasn't the one, but you can have multiple ones in this lifetime. And he talks about how our souls, before we even come here, we already know what lessons we want to learn. And sometimes that doesn't even involve other people. That just involves ourselves and what we have to overcome ourselves and what we have to accomplish here. And we already have the list of everything that we have to learn. And a lot of times these people get brought in, or all the time when people get brought in, it's so we can elevate to the next level. Sometimes that's with them, sometimes that's without them. Again, we all have free will. And if you don't want to learn the lesson, you'll just keep repeating it. And I even see it a lot where people are like, why do I keep attracting the same person? And it's because you haven't learned the lesson you were supposed to learn with that type of person. But yes, is it terrible that people end up in abusive relationships and with narcissists and feeling neglected and not being loved the way that they should? Yes, absolutely. Do I think that wasn't supposed to happen? No. Sometimes things need to happen so we can break out of it ourselves. A person needs to treat you poorly so you learn how to show up for yourself and know that you deserve better. Because he says the vibration of love, you only receive what you believe you deserve. Your soul knew I was going to be in this relationship and meet this person, and yes, it was fated,